Clark County paid vendors $2.2 billion last year, and that includes more than $350 million for construction and infrastructure improvement projects. Let's talk it out with Rachel O'Brien from OpenTheBooks.com joining us live. Rachel, out of the gate, vendor is a big umbrella term. What are we talking here?
Yeah, this is spending the county does outside of paying its employees. So these are third-party companies. As you mentioned, one of the largest groups of these companies were construction companies. They got over $350 million to build roads and buildings. Then there's companies like tech companies, Microsoft, Oracle, and Adobe, you know, that the county uses to run its website, run its system. So vendor can range from all of those things, even to Amazon. There's lots of Amazon spending.
So let's do a little look back in time and a compare-contrast. How did those figures compare to years prior?
Yeah, so the county's spending on vendors has doubled since 2015. It had been increasing about $100 million a year for several years, but in the last 2 years, it's increased by $200 million a year. And so it's a 10% increase last year from the year before.
And Rachel, obviously, our city is continuing to grow because of the pandemic. We have numerous Californians that are now calling Las Vegas home over Los Angeles. We just had the Super Bowl, Formula One, the list goes on and on. Are we in line with other cities like us? I know you do a lot of comparisons with like Nashville, Orlando, sometimes San Antonio. With what's going on with the spending here locally, does it seem to fit with cities like ours that are continuing to expand?
Yeah, so Nashville, they actually did not increase their vendor spending year over year the last 2 years. They have a very large vendor spending. Theirs is, I believe, $3.4 billion. It's a lot. So they're spending a lot on outside vendors. Looking at the local cities, so Las Vegas, they increased their vendor spending by 10%. That's the same as the county, 10% increase year over year. And then Henderson and North Las Vegas, obviously smaller cities, they kept their spending lower. They increased their vendor spending by 4%. So it's usually going up, even just by inflation. You usually see it going up.
And Rachel, you have a critical eye here. We're going to rely on your expertise. For us regular folks just living here in Southern Nevada, whether it was through the city or the county, when you look at these figures, does it seem to pass the smell test, if you will? Is there any reason for concern for us regular citizens, or is this just the price of business in 2024?
So I will say that the county is not incredibly transparent about the spending. They only give us vendor names and the amount paid. They don't give any other details. They don't say why the vendor was paid or what county department used their services. So it's a bit opaque. So you sort of have to go through the lists of literally thousands of vendor names and do your own research and try to figure out what that money was used for. So the county could really do a better job of being more transparent about what they're spending this money on. So no, we don't know necessarily if there's something to be concerned about, because we need some more information.
Well, that is why we are so glad that we have you, Rachel O'Brien, on our side, looking out for the little guy here in Southern Nevada. We appreciate these chats every Friday, and if there's anything more that we need to add to this story, please let us know the next time we get together. For now,
absolutely.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you again next week.
Thanks.
Speaking of the
Bye.
weekend, thank you.